everyone, and welcome to the second round of the Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series from Araxá, Brazil. We are here in the southeast of the country to round out two back-to-back season opening rounds in South America. My name's Rick McLaughlin, and you join me in one of the world's more beautiful places. Araxá has put on a show already this weekend. Cross-country racers. First out of the blocks for the Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series this year. And we have one race left to go. And that is, of course, the elite men's race. 27 degrees Celsius out there, 48% humidity. Let's have a look at how things went earlier in the weekend. The short track race got underway, and it was Martin Vidare in the Chileans national champion jersey who led them off the line in the number 5 Specialized. Simon Andreasen on the Cannondale led momentarily before Charlie Aldridge, his teammate, blasted past. Cannondale playing some team tactics at the front, but this crash from Aldridge, seemingly out of nowhere, changed things dramatically. Christopher Blevins rode superbly around the outside of it. Schwartzbauer was at the front, as we've come to expect. The top 20 really were inside the same handful of seconds. Lucas Schwartzbauer maximum attack, rode as he always tends to, but Jordan Saru pulled up alongside towards the back end of the race, and then it turned into what it was always going to be, a battle of the big guns. Koretsky asserted himself at the front alongside Blevins. Blevins, who took that memorable win last weekend in the cross-country Olympic in Maripora and will start today as one of the favourites, powered his way up the climb. Koretsky, though, covered him off on the descent. If you just watch here, Blevins looks the wrong way. Koretsky disappeared, tapped the power on. Specialized Factory Racing 1-2. Behind them, Alan Haverly, Saru, Schwartzbauer. Koretsky chalks another win. We can't get confirmation of those results then. Koretsky, Blevins, Haverly, Saru, Schwartzbauer, Colombo, Litcher, Gaze, Washi, Max Feudal in 10th. Great ride from him. The standings then: Koretsky, Gaze, Schwartzbauer, Saru, Litcher in the short track. Overall, your top 5. Let's hear from the victorious victor.
Just when we think the racing couldn't get any better, what an explosive race. Victor Koretsky takes it out in a sprint to the line. How was that final lap?
Wow, so it was full gas till the finish line to the last lap. So I tried to attack on the bridge just after the river, and then it was full gas till the end. Chris was super strong, and he did an amazing job for the final. For sure, if it was behind me, he won for sure. So because it was super fast at the end, and for me, it was like kind of easy on the wheel compared to him. But we are happy to be both on the podium, and it's amazing for Specialized Team again. It's amazing. Hele won on the girl, I won on the men. Chris finished second, so it's amazing. It's super nice, the atmosphere here in Brazil. We enjoy a lot, and I can wait tomorrow.
Victor Koretsky, extremely strong. As we're kind of getting used to saying, Paris 2024 looming large on his horizon, as it is on a few other fast Frenchmen's. Here are those hopeful of a home Olympic Games.
C'est ça, tout à fait. Pour les Français, c'est un week-end important parce qu'on joue notre qualif olympique ici. Normalement, ça devrait être le dernier week-end de sélection pour nous.
Important weekend because we are playing our Olympic qualification here. In theory, it should be the last weekend of selection for us. It's been discussed with the technical national director with the athletes. No selection early in the season. If we can know it in April, it would permit qualified athletes to be focused only on the Olympic Games, and for the other one, not qualified, they could have other objectives and start again with a new preparation.
Qui leur permettra d'atteindre leurs objectifs.
We are focused on Brazil rounds to try to perform at our best level. Olympics will be the big objective of the season, but it will not be the only one. We will try to perform because we know the French levels are very, very high. Not everybody will have the possibility to start the Olympic race, but I hope to be there.
Pas tout le monde aura la possibilité de prendre le départ des Jeux Olympiques et j'espère y être présent.
C'est une année hyper importante, surtout que les Jeux à la maison.
It's a very important year. Olympic Games at home. It's only one time in a lifetime, so it's very important. I want to do well. I will enjoy my 2021 Olympic experience. In 2021, the qualification has been done at the last moment. I had my ticket booked at the last race of that season. I want to enjoy this experience, to give my best here in Brazil, to go for the Olympic ticket.
Au Brésil, vraiment donner le meilleur de moi-même et d'aller chercher ce ticket-là. Ouais.
Je pense que je suis dans une de mes meilleures années de ma vie. Donc,
I think it's the best year of my life. I want to do well. I have no pressure. I have less pressure on my French opponents because I did the selection criteria last year. I won in Léger and I won the Olympic test event. It's a big selection criteria done for the French Federation. Nothing is official for the moment, but with what I have done, I know I have nothing to prove to be qualified.
En très très bonne posture, donc rien n'est officiel pour le moment, mais je sais que ce que j'ai fait déjà, j'ai pas besoin de prouver plus pour être qualifié en fait.
Je ne regarderai pas forcément les Français. Moi, je fais ma préparation et je ne cherche pas à être premier Français, je cherche juste à être le meilleur de moi-même et être le plus haut possible.
I am not looking at other French riders during the race. I've done my preparation and I'm not looking to be the first French. I'm only looking to give the best to myself to be the highest possible in the ranking. Obviously, during the race, we are close. It is something that we will take into consideration. We will see. This is something I used to do. I will push to the limit to the best place possible. There's Jordan and Joshua. They have done good performances. Thomas Griot has done podium as well. It's difficult to know. There's a very strong French team, but the person who will meet the criteria will deserve his Olympic spot. We will have to watch who is the guy that can be the strongest in the Olympic circuit. We will see.
Voilà, je pense que la personne qui sera en mesure de remplir les critères de sélection méritera sa place quoi qu'il arrive, et il faudra regarder aussi qui est en mesure de performer le plus sur le circuit olympique, parce que c'est ce qui compte aussi.
Big year ahead then, and just an update on that man on your screen now, one of those Olympic hopefuls, Joshua Debout, injured during the cross-country short track race. Dislocated elbow, is flying home tomorrow. We wish him all the best in terms of recovery, and we'll update you just as soon as we can on the Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series social channels. But a painful one for Debout. Here are the men still standing then. Thomas Griot really has work to do this afternoon if he wants to stop Victor Koretsky and Jordan Sarrou becoming the selection's for that Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Koretsky as high as 5th in Tokyo 2020 would look assured off that spot due to his position in the overall and his victory in the short track yesterday. And he comes from a bit of a winning stable at the minute. Specialized Factory Racing have really upped the ante in 2024. And here's how they're doing it.
Throughout the race, again and again, but never over. I just managed it exactly, kind of to perfection, to be honest.
I mean, a weekend like last weekend, I know it's possible. I always believe that we as a team can achieve what we did last weekend, and I know we can do the same in the female side, in the women race as well. It's almost like 3 years that we're working towards something like last weekend, right? Like this did not come just by surprise. It's a working process over the last couple of years to kind of like get yourself and the team into a position that allows something like this. There's no magic of what happened last week. Yes, a little bit of good luck, but a lot of hard work that went into it, and I think we deserved it. We deserved it because we put a lot of pressure on everyone within the team, and finally it paid out.
Such a big weekend for Specialized, and I think we deserve it. We have been working also hard. We have great talents, so yeah, I think it's just a matter of time, and I'm happy for the team.
Last weekend, I think, was a great, statement to see where I'm at physically, how I feel, getting the race legs at the highest level ready again. And I think I did that, and I'm happy with that. And at the end of the day, I just made some mistakes, I think, in the last lap that affected, the ability to get on a podium versus win.
And it's a fine balance, especially within the environment we are, how global our team is as well. Like we have, I think, 13 nationalities growing up in different ways, and not everyone shared the same kindergarten, right? So there's a lot of different mentalities that you have to manage.
We spend more time with each other than we do our families or friends back home. So you really have to get to know each other as people. We're all from different countries. We all have different cultures. Martin from Chile is so different than Sina from Switzerland, and that's something to appreciate and to really lean into. And yeah, consistency of being together.
Our team vibe, I think actually last year the team vibe was also incredible, and I think we've just really built on that and really tried to dial in all the details.
People don't really think about the team competition too much in mountain bike racing, but I think because we have 3 super strong ladies and 3 strong men, we can be in contention for the team overall every weekend. And it's kind of, for all of us, it's a little bit of a sub-goal.
In the team ranking, I already calculated the points, and then also track factory racing, we're coming for you.
Well, you heard it there from the big man, Ben Ovila. They are coming for track factory racing, Specialized. What a 6-rider squad they have assembled. They're all hitting the top notes just now. Benno, the choir master, has them all singing from the same hymn sheet. Martin Vidari, bottom right of your screen, would love a big result here in South America. Well, he's going to be up against the world's very best. Let's take a look at who we are going to be talking about today. There he is, the man himself, Martin Vidari. Can he become the first Chilean male athlete to win a UCI World Cup? Today wouldn't be a bad day to open his account. Filippo Colombo, one of the standout rides last weekend in Mayapura. The road to recovery almost complete after that horror crash at the start of last season. Viktor Koretsky, one of the very best all-rounders, just gets better. Sam Gaze, short track UCI world champion. Impressed last weekend in both formats. Jordan Sarrou, a big one here today from Sarrou, would almost guarantee that prized Olympic selection. Doesn't get any bigger for a cross-country racer, especially at a home games. Koretsky in the shade for now, but I can promise you it's getting hot out there. But Araxá is one that we've looked forward to for a long time and is making a claim to be up there with the most memorable cross-country racetracks of all time. Here's why. So, situated out front of the Grand Hotel here in Araxá, it heads full tilt along a pretty flat rolling section before landing on the base of this climb. There are a couple little punches later in the lap, but it really is all about this long drag to the top. And then they plummet back down the hill again. For the jump line that has been all over social media this week. This section's key as well. A little loop around the lake finishes the lap off where the more powerful riders can bring it back to the more technically gifted. Quite a short start-finish straight if there is a sprint and a bit of an S-bend leading onto it, so good awareness needed.
Juggling positions over the last couple of weekends.
There he is, Viktor Koretsky, warming up well. Our very own TM Capybara has been out on course. Here's Josh Carlson.
Back-to-back race weekends here in Brazil. I've had a touch-up from the locals on my Portuguese, and this weekend we're in Araxá, an amazing venue, an iconic venue of Brazil, and a circuit that riders will remember for years to come. It's fast, it's flowy, it's hot and humid, and it's going to be a good one. Let's check it out now.
Riders will have a start loop, so this is the first lap of the race course. So you would imagine you'll be in position here, but along this grass, here there's energy zapping. Bunch of different lines here. Riders will be flying into this section, more than likely in a big pack.
As we get into the single track, you've got that big, long, pedally section. It gets steep, and it gets steep quickly. Now that effort, there's barely any recovery to come back through the start of our race loop. So as you come up this section, we get into a flat bit. So as riders come up here, they're already starting to feel that burn, but this next bit right now, this gets so steep and loose. You have to put the power down. Look at the wheels spinning. You have to try and bite that stem, get on the tip of the saddle to maintain traction. Look at that, all the way over the top.
So slippery. Another wide and difficult climb. Choosing the right line here can make or break your position.
As we come out of the climbs at the top, the very physical part of our circuit, we get into the technical part. Now this section here, there's so many corners, but it's very niggly. You have to be precise with your wheels, carry good speed, because there's some big double jumps around the corner here as you make your way over the doubles smoothly and quickly. We get to this punchy little climb. This is steeper than it looks, and this climb here may be the most important section of track, because this section, the move you make here, will take you all the way into our Supercross style jump section to finish. Super high speed, fast, technical. This is a very important section of trail on our course here in Araxá.
You'll need to come across here with speed, maintain momentum, and this will carry you home. The very steep little section here as we get into the Supercross here. Yeah! Woohoo!
Talking point of this track here is this jump section, this Supercross section behind me. There's about 6 big jumps back to back now. They're not that big in size, but they are quite sharp and pointy, so you have to be precise. Arriving here, red line from the first physical part of the track, you must be confident, you must be calm as you approach these jumps to send you all the way down to our finish section.
Another one. And another one. Trouble. We're gonna fall for the break.
Araxá, what a track. Steep, technical, flowy, so many pedally bits, so much fun. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you trackside.
Honestly, he has ridden the tread off the tyres on that bike this week. He's probably done more laps than anybody, Josh Carlson. Nino Schurter won his first ever UCI cross country Olympic race 14 years ago to this day. And there's a capybara. And we can hear from the French team manager now.
Ivan Claulis, the French head coach, tell us how important today's race is for the French Olympic selection.
Yeah, it's very important because with these 2 rounds of Brazil, we have some tracks like Paris, so it's important for us. And the timing is good. We are less than 3 months now. It's very, it's a good short time to go to Paris, and I think I don't want to wait for Nove Mesto.
Now, unfortunately, Joshua Dubau crashed out yesterday in the short track. Does that shorten the amount of riders that are available for the Olympics?
Yes, I'm sad for Joshua. He was one of our leaders. I hope he will come back stronger this summer, but yes, timing will be complicated. For the other, they are all okay. Yes, we know that Jordan is maybe the leader, with Victor for sure. And yes, they have to play today. And yes, Jordan maybe have a little advance, yes.
Well, have a great day watching, and we look forward to seeing the result.
Thank you.
There we go. Who would be a French Olympic selector in 2024? Big job ahead of that man. His decision may have unfortunately been made slightly easier by that injury to the bow yesterday. Dislocated elbow doesn't get much more painful or complicated to fix than that. One man who had a bit of a topsy-turvy time, Maripora, last weekend is the GOAT, Nino Schurter. He's down there with Josh now.
Nino, huge day of racing. 14 years ago to this day in Dalby Forest, you scored your very first ever World Cup win. Now we're here in Brazil. How does that feel?
Yeah, I feel special, yeah. I feel a bit old now. No, but yeah, I still enjoy it, and wasn't the best week last weekend for me, so I hope for a better weekend now, but I'm feeling better, and I love to race in Brazil, so yeah, looking forward to it.
What's something that comes to mind that you remember from 14 years ago that's still relevant today?
The suffering. I can't remember. It was a tough battle with Julia to the line. But it was pretty sweet in the end to win. But I was suffering hard to hang on Julia there.
Sounds like today's going to be another sufferfest. We're excited to see it. Thank you for being here 14 years later, and we look forward to another win on the cards.
Thank you.
There we go. A very, very happy, confident-looking Nino Schurter. Everyone else needs to take note of that. When the GOAT decides that he fancies a win, there aren't many who can stop him. You see the umbrellas out on the starting grid. Carter Woods there in the Canadian National Champs jersey. Sam Gaze. Big Kiwi. Finished 8th in the short track yesterday. 1 round 1 short track. Riding with a solid seat post today. Couldn't get the position right on the bike with the dropper. With the amount of jumps out there. Bold move, but that man well able for it. Thomas Litcher has burned his own groove into that jump section. Very, very technically capable rider. Going for his best result yet for Mavic Lapierre Unity, excuse me. Beside him, Filippo Colombo, the comeback kid. Nino Schurter's teammate. Scott Schramm, MTB Racing. Lucas Schwarzbauer looking ready to go. Schwarzbauer 5th in the short track. Keen to point out that that's still a very, very credible result given the level this season. Jordan Sarrou. The Olympic selectors watch on live in person. And they'll be watching this man. Is he going to go to Paris 2024? Alan Hafferley's last elite win was at a short track race. The last time the UCI World Cup were in Petropolis. Can he get a cross-country Olympic one today? We are almost ready to go racing at the second round of the Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series as Christopher Blevins, the overall points leader in the red and white jersey for Specialized Factory Racing, takes to the grid. It'll be his teammate, this man, Victor Koretsky, who may well ask him some of the biggest questions today. Koretsky, victorious in yesterday's short track. Can he do the double this afternoon? He would be the third rider to do a double this weekend if he can do it. Quite a sizable if, though. And as we see the start list then, I am joined in the booth by the original Olympic champion, Bart Brenchens. From what we've seen so far, Bart, this should be one of the best cross-country races for a long time.
Yeah, we saw that in the women's category, and I expect something similar in the men's race.
Absolutely. This track has redefined what we can expect from cross-country Olympic races. The talent is absolutely stacked deep out there. We're living in a golden age of cross-country racing at the minute, a golden generation.
And the course also is built for tight racing. Very fast lap times we have seen before. Yesterday, the men under 23. And these guys, they almost do the same lap times as the men elite do. They go even a bit faster today.
And they are under starters' orders. The lights are red in Araxá. We will wait for them to turn green, and green they go. Gaze off to a flyer, as is Jordan Sarrou. Toe-to-toe with Christopher Blevins in the centre of your screen as they head out onto the start loop. Fast, frenetic start. Will they all get through these first corners cleanly?
The start lap plus 8 rounds.
Big, big race here. Quite a short lap. There is Lucas Schwarzbauer, as we're accustomed to seeing, leading them through the opening part of the lap. And the good news for the viewers at home is that Henrik Avancini has managed to beat his way through the crowds of fans outside and is joining us in the booth. Henrik, this is the big one.
That's a big race. We saw as the start is so important on today's race. The guys really charged into that first corner.
Yeah, the start loop designed to narrow the herd, but it is a chunky start loop here, some big features on it. So Schwarzbauer, as ever.
Yeah, definitely that first climb where they are almost right now. Whoa, Blevins down.
Blevins is down. Chris Blevins goes down early here in Araxá. The handlebars are pointing along the wrong way. Riders getting caught up behind him. Watch the right-hand side of your screen.
Oh, he hit the pole.
Oh, struggling for position with Litcher, I think it was. Oh, no, it is a very, very different race, Henrik.
Now we go over the curb and on really high speed, and
he's the last rider in the race.
so nervous, so intense. The battle for positioning early in this race, it's a key point. Oh, bad news for Blevins.
Oh, that's it.
We haven't seen the overall points leader down and out. Look at the riders. He's going to have to get through if he wants to get back to the front of this race. They're all off and running as we expected at the bottom of this climb, where the track narrows, and Christopher Blevins, you can see him in the bottom of the top of your screen there, sorry, is going to have to cut through all that. There's Matthias Flukiger.
Wow, he had a good start.
Oh, Jordan, is that Jordan Saru?
Yeah, Jordan Saru, yeah.
Trials in his way up that climb.
Like Koretsky does as well with the number 2 on his bike.
Flukiger has come from 25th, buried in the
look
pack.
Look at the carnage here.
Martin Vidari as well.
Sebastian Finney over here.
Well, we thought the elite women's race was eventful.
Gunnar Holmgren in the lime green.
Absolutely carnage.
Valero from Spain. Yeah, carnage over there.
And just as we've seen throughout the weekend, there is a front group. Matthias Flukiger did not compete in that short track race yesterday. Got a doctor's note. Wasn't feeling quite at his best, but he's at the front of this race.
How has he done that? I mean, on a 4th row start, immediately so quick to the front.
Matthias Flukiger.
Yeah.
On his 101st UCI
World
Cup start.
At the top of this climb.
Flukiger leading the race ahead of Lukas Schwarzbach. Sam Gaze in close attendance too.
Are these the new tactics? Not doing short track the day before the cross-country race and now leading immediately.
Well, we hope not, but Flukiger at the front.
It's a good move from him. Just taking the chance that he found the space at the start and charging the front. Some of the top names just got caught behind, so why not?
Nino Schurter also a good start.
Also a good start by Carew.
Yeah, Tito Carew.
Look
the
at
French
Flukiger.
guy.
Flukiger pushing on at the front of this one.
Sam Gaze behind him. Aldrich. Charlie
There's
Aldrich on
Koretsky.
4th place.
There's Koretsky.
Martin Vidauer, you can see. There was Sebastian Finney in the red jersey.
So it's Flukiger from Schwarzbach, Gaze, Aldrich. Let's look at them through this uphill route section.
Yeah, running is fast too here on these sections if you are not the first rider of...
There's Charlie Aldrich going the long way round. We've seen this line used to good effect in the elite
Victor
women's race.
Koretsky does the same.
2 line options up there. Oh, and it's just carnage behind him. Looks like Martin Vidari is getting caught up in these battles, Henrik.
But Christopher Blevins, actually, he must be behind even these riders after that crash he had in the beginning of the race. That's a shame for him. Oh, he overtook already a lot of riders. Must be.
Just checking.
So easy to make a mistake early on. It was a brilliant move what we saw from Saru and also Koretsky, trying to keep on the bike. They lost some time there, but they didn't spend too much energy. So if you're going to lose time, at least do it saving energy, or as much energy you can save.
I can tell you now, Christopher Blevins is in 77th. So by my miles, he's made up over 20 spots already.
Crazy. Well, him over
Matthias
that
Flukiger did also something similar. I mean, he overtook 32 riders at least in front of him at the start line.
We saw Sam Gaze in the short track, Henrik, last week. He really almost headbutt his way to the front. How important is the start now in these cross-country races at this level?
Well, Sam Gaze is looking good right now in the front. And Christopher Blevins, let's remember that last week, by the end of lap 1, he was out of top 30. And he rode his way back to the very front of the race. So I think today it's much harder, but that's not counting him out.
Schurter in 6th place.
Good start.
Good race for Nino Schurter.
I think Matthias Flukiger just got a call of good start there. I'd say it's a pretty meteoric start if we're being honest about it.
Even when he starts in the front row, he usually is not a great starter. So that's why I think he's doing great on taking the chance.
Yeah, probably he's even more focused also that he should have a good start, and that's what happened actually.
Let's not forget as well, there's big pressure on that Swiss Olympic qualification place given that Filippo Colombo had such a strong weekend last time out.
Yeah, and a good race yesterday. Front row start he had.
Here they go now, into this rocky descent. This is where the track tips downwards and things get very, very serious.
And Charlie Aldrich, actually, he did quite okay yesterday as well in the short track, but had 2 times a crash. That's why he didn't finish so well, but a good start again today in the first lap. In 4th place now, the young UK rider.
Flukiger on that Tumas, plenty of suspension travel. Here we go, we tip into this little descent. It's got multiple line choices coming up now after these berms through a big sort of wooden man-made section. Where does he go? The one straight down the middle, turns left, then it's a double jump. And we look back, there is Christopher Blevins in. Blevins digging deep, 75th at the minute. And he is going to have to do things the very hardest of ways today on a track where it was going to be difficult already. Up this really steep climb that we saw on the short track. Flukiger, Schwarzbar.
Pushing hard, Matthias Flukiger.
Flukiger is charging.
Everywhere.
We can see small gaps in between the riders. That's a sign.
Yeah. I think it will be the race like that. Full gas from the start on. They don't slow him down.
Let's see what happens on the long transition at the bottom now.
Yeah, here we go. Into this jump line for the first time. Lucas Schwarzbar just going a bit deep. Matthias Flukiger looking really comfortable, looking like he's on a moto.
Over that bridge.
Rattle down over the bridge, slings it right. That little berm, really not much off it. The back half of it's pretty flat, so you're putting a lot of trust in the front tyre. There's Jordan Sarrou.
But as long as the riders are that close together, they know as well.
Carnage in the first tech feed zone then.
The Brazilian.
A mechanical for two Brazilians, apparently.
Flukiger across the little river gap. Now he leads them onto this really flat section around the lake. There's Nino Schurter in a great position.
Koretsky's there as well. And also Tito Bacaro, the French guy, another French rider. Let's have a look. Jordan Sarrou, he's where he is.
Henrik, for all the social media dominance that we've seen from this jump line this week, this section around the lake has been pivotal through some of the races, hasn't it? Because you can get the power on.
Absolutely. I think a lot of the riders didn't pay attention for this part of the course, but it's very important to understand how the race is going to unfold. So a lot to play on this small part of the course, the flatter part of the course.
We've seen some fascinating tactics as well through this section with riders who would be winners not wanting to take the lead for it. Alan Haverly in 10th.
Your previous teammate, Alan Hatterley.
Yeah, it's usually, he can use wheels really, really well. So in this type of races, he might be a dangerous guy or a big podium contender, I would say, because he can wait, he's very patient and read well the race.
Super strong on the road bike, Alan Haverly knows how to ride in a bunch. That could be crucial today.
Martin Vidal, I saw him overtaking some riders and try to move a little bit more to the front.
So it's currently Schwarzbar, from Schurter, Flukiger, Sarrou, Koretsky.
Yeah, riders they know as well. Still, they have to fight for their position. This group is still way too big to ride together like that on the more technical parts of the course.
It's Schwarzbar from Schurter, Koretsky alongside Nino Schurter now.
Yeah, Schurter is feeling good again.
14 years to the day since he took his first cross-country Olympic win. Nino Schurter's at the front of this bike race, making a play for another.
Last week he had that eye infection and also a crash in the race, so it wasn't his best weekend, but now he's back in the game.
Two numbers that really tell you Nino Schurter's story. 14 years since his first win, and he's going for his 10th overall title. There is Blevins then.
The leader.
With the yellow board of the leading team, Specialized Factory Racing, on that bike.
What can he do in this race? And you see here the battle again for the positions. And tight corners. Filippo Colombo now going to the third place behind Nino Schurter. Two teammates, Scott Schramm.
Blevins is up in 68th position, so he's currently 1 minute and 8 back off the front of the race.
And Jordan Sarrou in fourth. Then we have Victor Koretsky. He's behind him, the two French guys. Charlie Aldrich.
Charlie Aldrich having to go up that really loose outside line. You see the dust rising as this track in Araxá continues to bake in the sun. Schwarzbar trying to take a breath at the front now. Aldridge is right in there with him, the second-year league. Koretsky's behind him, then his teammate Alan Haverly. Vidari has got past Gaze. Simon Andreessen's in there. Adrian Boischi's in there. This is exactly what we've seen from these other races here in Araxá. It's staying together at the front. What are your tactics now, Henry? Just survive?
Well, I would say Lucas Schwarzbauer is doing a good race so far. He's a slightly heavier rider, so he's taking control on the steep parts of the course, probably holding back a little bit, and then forcing a little bit more on the transition parts. And now we can see Flukiger fading back a little bit.
Back in 17th.
Yeah, he dropped back a little bit.
Back in 17th, so maybe a slight problem from Flukiger.
But Adrien Brachy as well, he is good in the race. The young French rider, 12th at the moment.
Jordan Sarrou, though, Olympic selectors watching on. You understand that pressure. It doesn't get much more than that, does it, than the French coach flying out here?
Not at all.
164 beats per minute then. Charlie Aldridge, monstering his way through those routes.
Yeah, the French coach in a difficult position if it comes down to the qualification Olympic Games for the men.
Sarrou charging.
We just look back. Watch
Blevins
Blevins
with
in
the
number one.
Yeah, overtaking a lot, but also here off the bike again.
Jumps off again. Christopher Blevins off the bike twice.
Yeah, it shows how important your start position is in mountain biking, short track. There it all starts with, and if you make a mistake that early in the race, yeah, you have to pay for it.
It's also not easy, like, to keep calm, because you get so frustrated. You had high hopes for the day, and then all of a sudden you are far back. So you start like risking too much, as we saw from him now. It's not an easy situation.
No, and it doesn't slow down at all in the front of the race. The riders are battling constantly for good positions, even on the flat parts where you normally expect where they slow down a little bit. And maybe they will slow down after a couple of laps, but not in the beginning of the race and not at the end.
Flukiger down in 17th now by our screen, so I just wonder if there's been an issue to ship that many spaces in quite a small period of time. There is that other line to the left, Alan Haverly taking it.
Yeah, taking that line with his teammate Charlie Aldridge behind him, the UK champion, and then Martin Vidaurre.
Let's watch for Vidaurre, because he knows the way around on this course. He's been racing here for a few years now.
He's also very, very good for the second half of the lap over those jumps, as is Christopher Blevins. You'll need every ounce of that. If you just tuned in, Christopher Blevins, first lap pile up on basically the second or third corner, shuffle to the very last rider on course, and he's been down again on one of the steep climbs, the American. So the Colorado native has work to do. I'm just going to check the screen in front of us, find out how he's getting on. He's 67th at the minute, Blevins.
Yuri Zanotti, the BMC rider, Carter Woods, Canadian champion, but Jordan Sarrou, who's pushing hard, Nino Schurter behind him, Lucas Schwarzbauer on third, and Filippo Colombo.
Got two Scott SRAM riders in the mix, two Cannondale factory racing riders in the mix, two Specialized factory racing riders in there as well. So team tactics may just become a factor. There's Carter Woods, the first-year elite, looking really, really strong out there. This course will suit him too.
It's looking strong.
Nicely done through there.
Henrik, what do you expect from Martin Vidaurre here on this course?
Well,
fifth place now, or around fifth place?
I would say he can go for the podium again. More than that.
Can he go for win?
I don't think so. I don't think he's ready to have enough on the tank for the final lap, but he's going to be up there. I believe he can be up there when they hit the final lap.
He had a good race last weekend.
Well, of course, by definition, all races are won on the very last lap, but what a final couple of 2 laps we had in the elite women's race. Absolutely, well, no spoilers for you, but definitely worth checking those out, because it came down to psychological warfare, really.
But Nino Schurter.
Nino Schurter. Nearly a decade and a half after his first win.
The most experienced rider of all.
He's in the zone, man.
The GOAT.
He looks up for this today, as he tends to. Over the double jump they go. Then the big gap jump as they head up this really, really steep punch of a climb. Look at the crowd.
It must be amazing riding here on this course with so many fans next to it.
Great vibes. We can see the group is stretching, but it's just not enough to break away. So we're going to see the group stretching, getting back together.
Henrik, as well, we saw Alex Junior Malacarney get third in the 23 men's. The crowd went absolutely wild for him yesterday evening. How big a result is that for that young man?
Well, great ride by him. I think he coped really well with the expectations and pressure. Really nice. From Saru, we just saw him flying over the bridge.
Aldridge and Vidari both taking flight as well, clearing that whole bridge. It's not small either, it's quite a pull. Josh Carlson claims that he was the first to pioneer that gap.
Boishi still in touch.
Boishi's right in there.
Yeah, Boishi is very strong here at the beginning of the race.
As they rocket round that left-hander. And out onto the lake section. See the
Koretsky is coming to the front.
The moto struggling to stay ahead of them.
Yeah, they're still fighting for their positions all the time. Now Victor Koretsky is leading here around the lake.
So the top 6 all in the same second. Then it's Vidari, Aldridge, Andreasen, the young team. Avendetto's in 10th.
Really nice shot.
Yeah, it gives you an idea of just how busy it is at the front, and that awareness of riders around you, very, very difficult as well to master.
You need to keep aware, because now on those moments, all of a sudden you can lose 5 to 10 positions doing the same effort. So you need to be really aware of what's happening around you.
There's no time to relax. That's why the speed stays high all the time here, also on the more easier part of the course.
Let's have a look at a slow motion shot of them through that really wide technical descent.
Yeah, the most difficult and the most steepest descent of the course. Very natural. Chasing group.
Top 20 covered by just 22 seconds.
If they slow down a little bit in front, that Jason Group might come back again. Jordan Saru leading. Nino Schurter behind him. Martin Vidauer is there.
Koretsky battling his way through there just to get back into contention. There's Martin Vidauer on the left-hand side of your screen there in the Chilean jersey.
And here at the back, Simon Avandetti, Charlie Aldridge, and also Carter Woods.
You need to invest. On this course, you need to invest early on. Otherwise, you just throw away too much energy once you hit that first steep climb that they are approaching now.
There are a couple of lines, actually, but it's not that easy to ride everywhere.
We have seen as well the danger of riding, you know, attacking at the base of that climb and just bringing climbers over to it and then having to suffer.
Vidauer now leading. Schwarz-Bauer, Nino Schurter, Victor Koretsky.
Outside line to Nino, carrying some speed into the steeper part.
Is this an attack already of Vidauer this
Looks
early
like.
in the race? Yeah, he's pushing hard at least.
He's looking good out there. The Chilean rider.
He's feeling strong.
As Henrik said, he's raced here a lot. He probably knows this track as well as, if not better than anyone else out there. You can see Charlie Aldridge motoring up that left-hand line. There's Vlad Dascalu as well, the European champion, having to dismount. Shows you the...
Yeah, if you are off that line, actually there is so loose and it's difficult to find your traction and grip.
Vidari's gap.
He's
going. A little bit.
Yeah, beginning to look chunky.
Let's see what these riders can do. Small gaps in between them. Yuri Zanotti, Sam Gage, Charlie Aldridge.
Aldridge just emptying a bottle there. The Brazilian flag waves on.
Yeah, small gap. Now Nino overtaking Lucas Schwarzbauer. Victor Koretsky goes with him. It's time. Simon Andreas is in there. Vlad Matthias Flückiger, yeah. Carrot, Carter Woods. The Italian riders.
Yeah, top 10 now.
Yeah, a small gap for Martin Vidauer.
Covered by 12 seconds. 6 seconds Vidauer has built up.
Yeah, Nino Schurter, he will be the rider next. Behind him, here is Nino Schurter, Victor Koretsky, and then Jordan Saru.
Schurter, one of the most experienced riders out there, will know he's in a good position in this race now. There's Gaze.
Simon Avendetti is in there.
Sam Gay is going with the fixed post, straight seat post, because he couldn't get enough layback to get comfortable with the dropper. Big move with as many jumps, but the New Zealander,
Adrian Brasino with the number 20 on his bike coming to the front.
More than capable of pulling it off. And as we say goodbye to Henrik Avancini, we are joined by another man almost as equally popular in Brazil, Ollie Beckinsale. Ollie, what was your take on that frenetic first couple of laps?
Whoa, non-stop. Never seen a first lap like it. I was on the edge of my seat. And say it hasn't settled down at all. We've just had a little bit of a lull. Riders coming through that 20, 30, just struggling to cope with the pace. But these front boys, yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything from the leader?
Well, Vidare, just... we can see from the side, just going up the outside on the start loop on the road, just absolutely pinning it on a complete mission.
But I mean, Christopher Blevins.
From Blevins, no, he was caught mid-pack. Back into
58, if I have him on this screen.
Yes. We saw him on that steep climb, you guys saw it, just struggling to get past people. I mean, I think he's not going to make this front group, that's for sure, but I think it's for some overall points, I think will be his objective.
Of course, yeah, you're right with that.
He's turned a busy afternoon into a very busy afternoon. Lovely line there from Vidari going all the way around the outside of that rock. Schurter goes to the inside of it, as does Koretsky.
Alan Hatterley, Filippo Colombo.
One thing we did see is in the warm-up pens, the intent from Nino. You know, super serious. You know, you could see it in his eyes today that he was in good shape, back to good form. And yeah, we can see it now. He's made this front group, but before the start, he looked like, you know, Nino the GOAT.
But still relaxed in that interview what we saw of him. But he has the experience.
Yeah.
He loves to ride here in Brazil. He won Petropolis some years ago. A bit unlucky last week, but now here, second place with Koretsky behind him, Alan Hatterley and Filippo Colombo. His teammate is in there too.
But it's those tracks where we see maybe, you know, Val de Soleil, you know, or even Lenzerheide, where it's those route sections, you know, power, but needs quite a lot of, you know, not just power, but torque as well, and we see Nino so good on that.
So as we saw last weekend in Mayapura, the second tech feed zone open for water. Normally it's just a tech zone. Martin Vidare, he's found another second here on that Schurter group, so 7 seconds now for the youngster.
Yeah, but I think Vidare is one of the best descenders when it comes down to technical skills on courses like this, with all these jumps and features. Fast cornering. There he is.
Yeah, we saw Vidare in the practice sessions during the week, so comfortable on this track. Him, Blevins, Koretsky, they were just having a laugh out there.
Yeah, when it rained with that big deluge earlier in the week, they put mud tyres, or at least the cross-country equivalent of mud tyres on, and went out and did more laps because they wanted to feel what the sensations were.
Wow.
With Martin Vidare leading
over the gap. Yes, best style from Vidare. That will delight this packed little final climb.
Yeah, he's so famous here in Brazil too.
9 seconds now.
Yeah,
so
he's opening.
This is working for Vidare. But he's gone deep in the race on lap 3 out of 9.
And as well, when you consider 30th on the grid,
11 seconds.
Listen to the chants of Nino from the crowd.
Sure. It looks so easy from Vidare, what he's showing.
So popular the world over. Here comes Vidare through the jump section. Is he going to take the whole bridge on?
Oh. Of course, he has his teammate, Victor Koretsky.
With the Jeremy McGrath look back as well. You'd love to see it. Martin Vidare doing it his way here in Araxá.
But it's still early in the race to do it all on your own. But on the other hand, if they slow down behind him...
Look, if you can ride like Martin Vidare, why not? Saru's been...
Yuri Zanotti is the last rider of that group.
Shuffled back in 6th now, Zanotti in 9th, so... That second group really containing 8 riders. This man, though, cracks on at the front.
But Vidare's got one of the favourites today, Victor Koretsky, as well, in that second group. So if the other riders chase Vidare, they're just going to grab Koretsky. This is where we're seeing the strength and depth of the specialised team, maybe.
Yeah, definitely Koretsky wouldn't do any work in that chasing group.
I don't know. I don't know. Victor Koretsky likes to win bike races. I think His mind might be a busy place just now.
It'd be interesting to see who's applying the pressure, whether there is a chase or whether the gap's just going to go out.
Yeah, definitely team tactics involved. The gel already that early in the race for Vidal, it's necessary. He needs to know that.
Vidari then crosses the line. 14 seconds was his lead at the last split. What a lap from Martin Vidari.
Yeah, you see here, Koretsky, he's second behind Nino. Also, Nino doesn't like to do the work.
But this could be it. They could all start.
Sam Gaze now is coming to the front.
They could all start quarrelling as to who's going to do the work, and that is just letting Martin Vidari disappear up the road as we see that chase group through the jump section. Modern cross-country race is not bad to watch, is it?
It's great. Great shot, this.
Look at the bars on Nino's shirt or Scott. 16 seconds back to Sam Gaze is what the clocks are showing us. And that lap from Martin Vidari, 6.8 seconds faster, it's saying, than his closest rival.
8:37, the fastest lap time so far.
Yeah,
amazing.
He must have an early checkout at the hotel.
Yeah, he's going long.
To take his flight.
Vidari taking flight here in Araxá.
16 seconds.
Sam Gaze now takes up the chase. So, if you want a big engine to do a bit of chasing, that man has perhaps got the biggest of them all, Sam Gaze. Known more as a short track specialist, but can do it in the cross-country Olympic as well.
To split the group apart.
Yeah, one thing Sam Gaze has got, he's got that big diesel engine. He's not going to tire over this distance, so for him it's better to go long and force it.
I wonder now, do they start banking on a Vidari blow-up and just keep the pace high, but not maybe red hot? But it's a big gamble. Haverly, superb line choice there. Just went to the rider's left. 171 beats per minute for Jordan Zaru.
But Simon Avandetti, the Italian rider, impressive.
Yeah, sixth last week, a real standout ride. Previous under-23 world champion a couple of years ago.
Really a Vittoria team.
Yeah, but
full chat up there from Vidari. There's Gaze chasing. 13 seconds now. Gaze has reduced that to. I was just about to say it looks smaller than 16 seconds to me.
But for Gaze, this long kind of step climb really suits him. 3-minute effort, top to bottom, big push. I think it's a good effort for him.
But you see, a big gear he's pushing even on these steeper parts of that climb. And on sections like this, such a high speed.
And the gap's appearing under the pressure.
And Natalie here.
It's getting extremely dusty out there. There's Yolanda Neff roaring on from the sideline, passing on some split times to her Trek teammates. It's Martin Vidari, 7 seconds now. Gaze on the move here, and he's bringing that group with him.
Charlie Aldrich. Here's Matthias Flückiger.
Blevins looking like he's in 60th, already losing 2 minutes to the front group, stuck in traffic.
Is he bringing back that group? Sam Gaze.
7 seconds the gap now between Vidari and Gaze. Look at Sam Gaze in the front of that train. Absolute juggernaut.
He has the power. But the gap is still there.
Vidari superb over those routes. But he will be coming into view now quite shortly for this chasing group, and then they will be all back together. Avendetto doing very well at the back of it.
And if Martin Vidal reaches the top of this climb, it's the first rider. He will open the gap again in that descent. But look at Nina Schurter. He's struggling with the pace from Sam Gaze in front of him. All these riders looking back. There's no one. There's all suffering.
Yeah, that gap back to Simon Andres in 8 seconds. 7 seconds now the difference. Vidari.
He's so strong. Those big long levers just tapping out that pace. Everyone else just hanging on for dear life at the moment.
Never looks in trouble, Gaze, does he? Just turns that big gear.
Yeah, he pushed so much effort into it now. So much watt.
There's Simon Andreasen for Cannondale Factory Racing, looking like a different rider in 2024. There's his teammate, Charlie Aldrich.
Yeah, but also Alan Hatterley, another Cannondale rider. He's in this first group.
So Flückiger's recovered the 10th spot now, having slid as far as 17th. So Flückiger kind of yo-yoing a bit.
After his first round where he was leading a lot, fast start he had. Matthias Flügger 10th place now, 22 seconds off.
Yeah, from Matthias, funny tactics, you know, to put so much effort, strike the front, and then have to drop back. But for an experienced rider to get that pacing
maybe also it costs a lot of effort for him to be in the front and push so hard in the beginning. Look at Sam Gaze.
Vidari's got the Jaws music on now because Sam Gaze has closed him right down to 2 seconds. So the frontless race nearly book it. Vidari down through there, pumping the trail for as much speed as possible.
Is he able to open that gap again, Martin Vidauer, who's leading this race?
Nick Flores and the local team have done such a good job designing this track. Super, super wide, line choices everywhere, and incredible descents.
You see the speed of Gaze up here, like that.
And the power.
Full power.
Look at that. Schurter has just got, Schurter's got the tow rope out, you know. He's just sticking to the back of Gaze, and that's enough.
Easier said than done, I think, on this lap.
Yeah, I'd go for that, actually,
Vidari looking smooth, this style, always in the nice easy gear, accelerating.
Takes a bottle.
And all these riders, they're taking their bottles to cool themselves down. It's so important.
Vidari's pulled another 2 seconds out, you know.
There was Sam Gaze.
4 is the difference. Avendetto having a great start to the year, the Italian. Not a bad year to have a good start in as well, as we get to jump back on board with Vidari. 32 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, and you can see just how relaxed he is. Just gaining time back on Gaze and the other riders on this section here. And this is free time.
This race rattling by lap 4 out of 9 now.
Happily doing a great ride so far. Just sitting there, quite happy, just hitting that bunch.
There's Gaze now at the front of the train. Into this big, chunky man-made section before they turn right. Into the bike park section. Oh, sorry, 6 seconds, I told you. Another 2 put in.
He knows what to do when it comes down to the last lap, even a look back over his shoulder.
Doesn't take the whole bridge gap on this time.
6 seconds, it's less than that.
Koretsky just manualing the bridge.
Be interested to see, obviously last time Vidari had a big gap on that grass section, so he was inclined to push on, but I think this time not so big, so I think we'll see him just back off.
Yeah, I think
maybe
he will slow down here when it comes down to that lap around the lake.
Over the river gap. And now they will head back around the lake, and looking like, as Bart predicted, they may well come back together here.
You see how hard Avendatt is having to work just to chase, sprinting back on.
Vidari. Well, we always knew he'd be a factor in one way or another at the front of this one. But my goodness, didn't he light up the start of this race? His fastest lap time.
Yeah,
8:37.
If he can do it in the second lap, can he do it also in the last lap?
Yeah. I just wonder if...
I know he knows the tactics, what he has to play, but he has to save his energy.
But I just wonder if he may have timed this perfectly, because lap 4 out of 9, he's got 4 more laps to sit in this group, recoup.
Some guys look strong too. Look at him. He takes his gel, his drinks.
A shovel of coal.
Yeah. But you think Vidari,
what's he doing?
He had to ride on the flat, but on the climb. He could ride his own pace, whereas the other riders were having to kind of hang on to Sam Gaze maybe overexerting themselves. Vidari had his own pace climb, so being that little bit ahead of Gaze.
And I think especially in the descent, he's the fastest.
Yeah, so he's saving energy on the descent. He's riding his own pace on the climb.
This chasing group now, Flukiger looking like they're starting to squabble in amongst themselves as to who's going to take it on lap 5.
Titwa Groot in that, Carter Woods.
Yeah, Filippo Colombo not riding so well this week compared to last weekend. 3rd, but 15th at the moment.
Ladasclu or Adrian Brachy in that group.
So Flukiger and Colombo, the 2 riders going for that Swiss Olympic spot, are right together. 13th and 14th, little battle within a battle here. Battle within a war, you'd have to say. Sam Gaze is at the front of things as they head onto this climb. Positioning the next couple hundred meters crucial.
Yeah, don't forget two specialized riders in this group together, Vidauer and Koretsky.
Both having a scrap to lead into that first technical climb.
Sam Gaze has brought Viktor Koretsky across into this group, and Viktor Koretsky swings out. Is he going to take the lead? Nope. Saru leads him on the bottom of this climb. There's Boischet in second wheel in this group.
Yeah, the chasing group is not that far off, actually.
Daniele Braido as well, the Italian rider, just pushing the force at the front of that one.
Gaze versus Saru. Koretsky's in there. I'm not seeing Vidari in that picture, you know.
Look at that gear of Sam Gaze. Almost looks like they're slowing down, but I think
they have just come off the pace a little bit.
He has to accelerate a little bit here on this steep climb to make it to the top.
There is Vidari at the back of this group now with the yellow 5 on his back for highest placed team.
But it's getting very loose now on these climbs, you know.
Yeah, it's dry and dusty. Max Feudel here leading this group.
So Blevins is in 56th currently.
Lars Forster is in there. Number 16 on his bike. Pierre de Framont, the Belgium champion. Gunnar Holmgren, the number 36 on his bike from Canada.
So Nino Schurter won his first cross-country Olympic race 14 years ago today. Also 14 years ago, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai opened. The Winter Olympics were held in Whistler. Spain won the FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Wasn't all good news. One Direction were formed and Instagram launched.
14 years ago.
14 years ago, yeah. So
we look at this front group a little bit further back. An amazing ride. Cameron Orr, Vilja Vittoria rider up to 18th now for the young Brit.
Going well.
Just ahead of Lukas Schwarzbauer after that fast start, just dropping back a bit.
Gaze, though, looking round him.
He's looking strong. Looks like that he still has a little bit left, even if he's riding like this.
Picking their way through the routes now.
Alan Hatterley, the last rider of that group, the Cannondale rider.
We just see Cannondale teammates and Andreasen just making contact with the back. That'll put 2 Cannondales in the front.
Andreasen, as I said earlier, looking like a different rider in 2024. He's changed up some things, coaching and where he's based, and looks like it's paying dividends. Looks like the group's just sitting in now slightly. The pace, I mean, everything's relative. Pace seems to have dipped somewhat compared to the effort it took to bring Martin Vidari back in.
Well, I think it's a good time. It's so hectic from the start. Everyone just needs to have a lap just to take the edge off, and then they'll start to build up. And we saw this in the first race in Maripora, that everyone, once they were happy with their position, there was just a little lull for a lap. The race came back together a little bit, and then the last 2 laps, that's when it really kicked off again.
But if you compare the lap times from Vidauer, when he made that attack with that previous last lap from the riders, it's 30 seconds in between that.
Wow.
It's a lot.
Yeah, big dip. 30 seconds is just
so
huge.
Wondering if he can do that one more time in today's race.
30 seconds is not nothing. We said it was early from Vidari. I just wonder if there was something tactical about it. If that was the plan, because it was a serious effort.
Here he is, Martin Vidauer.
It's getting serious out there amongst the teams, isn't it? Ben O'Ville calling Trek Factory Racing out at the start of this race, saying he's coming for them. It's getting lively.
Against Cannondale, maybe?
Yep.
Cannondale definitely a good job doing here in this race now with Alan Hatterley, Simon Andreasen, Charlie Aldridge. He's not that far off, 9th at the moment. He's in that chasing group.
Yeah, I think
so. Cannondale is...
Oh, Sam Gaze. The rocks jumping out of his way up this climb. Here's the big Kiwi now, starting to turn the screw.
You see here, Charlie Aldridge behind.
Yep. Adrian Boishy, Delaska, all trying to come back to this front group as it lulls a little bit.
There he is then, Gaze.
Confidence is what he's showing.
Yeah, the Salmonator, he's back at the front.
The Salmonator.
Yeah, and Sam Gaze generally likes to control a race.
Yeah.
If he sits on the front,
that's how he's doing all the time.
You know he's on for it when he's at the very front. There's sometimes he can drift backwards slightly, but if he's at the very front,
he can turn this into a big short track race. Control the effort, have little recoveries.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. We said that during the elite women's race. It did feel like a longer short track race.
Yeah.
Similar like last week, actually, when we saw it as well. But that was on a different course. This course has actually one main climb, a big one.
Yeah.
But still, similar racing.
But I think it's that flat section around the start-finish. That leads to just everyone doesn't want to take it on then, and that leads to a kind of bulking together of the bunch.
Yeah, and Sam Gaze, I think he likes to ride like this. Controlling the race, slowing down where he likes to slow down, saving some energy, and pushing where he likes to push.
And he can ride his line, his pace on the descent, so it's safe. No pressure. But Nino as well, looking strong, riding
chance
a great
of Nino
race.
coming up. And as we said before, a lot of the races have come down today with who we haven't seen on the front.
Yeah, Victor Koretsky we haven't seen on the front. He's always there.
Schurter's in there as well.
We haven't seen on the front. But if it comes down to the last lap with Martin Vidauer and Sam Gaze, and Vidauer is in the first place at the top of that climb, I think it's difficult for Sam Gaze to follow that guy. But when it comes down to a sprint, no one can beat Sam Gaze.
Yeah, we saw the short track from round 1 when he went head-to-head, Schwartzbauer, the power on that last lap.
Yeah, but such a tight racing it was, but he managed it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I remember that race in Stellenbosch with that sprint finish, Sam Gaze, Nino Schurter.
Yeah.
Of course, Nino unclipped in that sprint, but still, Sam Gaze, he won the race.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have bet before that race for Gaze to do Nino in a finish. So that was when he put himself on the map, really, wasn't it, as a superstar?
And especially sometimes during the race, he showed his strengths, and also now again here in this race.
Yeah.
Now Victor Koretsky coming to the front for the first time, leading the race.
We said it before, one thing Gaze has got is that really deep endurance. He's not going to tire on the last lap.
He does a lot of stage races too these days.
Yeah.
So he has the engine.
Nino Schurter,
the power,
is still there in third wheel.
Simon Andreasen came back to this leading group.
Going for his 10th UCI World Cup overall title this year. Had a bumpy start to proceedings last week in Maripora with a big crash in the cross-country Olympic, but seems to have recovered well.
So Christopher Blezin, overall leader, back to 50th now. He's holding actually about the same time. It was 2 minutes, 2 seconds last time, now 2:09. So he's kind of holding pace with the front guys, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how much he can get back.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of traffic in front of him constantly, of riders, especially on the single tracks.
We're hearing there's a puncture for Daniele Braido as well, deeper in the field. So
he had a good race so far.
Yep, trouble for one of the Braido brothers.
Back to the leading group, becoming a bit bigger. Charlie Aldridge is in the group as well. Yep, they came back together. Adrian Brochy, Filippo Colombo, they all came back.
Christopher Blevins got a little bit of help further back. Yori Rees, who's actually the Enduro e-bike world champion, who is a specialised technical coach this weekend. He's doing amazingly well, circulating around in 49th place.
Yeah, specialised factory racing, really throwing the throwing the kitchen sink at it. Lucas Schwarzbar, though, looks like he is in a world of hurt here. Further down the order, Schwarzbar in 16th currently. Shake of the head.
Charlie Aldridge just getting back on again, but it's Andreas and his teammate just trying to hit the front for that climb.
Yeah, he left a little bit of a gap in front of him, but that's necessary. He will come back automatically.
So, just a correction there, he is the EXC World Champion, Joris Rafe, not the E-Enduro World Champion. I can give you a clue which E-Enduro racer has sent that in from the pit lane. Yeah, EXC, absolutely brutal.
It's Simon Andreasen now who's leading the race. Viktor Koretsky behind him. Sam Gaze on 3rd place.
Happily doing a good race at the moment, sitting pretty in 4th, keeping his head down.
Nino Schurter behind him, Jordan Sarou, Martin Vidaure, Adrian Brachy, Charlie Alge is in the group 2, Philippe Colombo, Sarou off the bike. Vlad Dasclu, the European champion. Tito Acaro, French champion in the group 2. And here was Sam Gaze. Slow-mos.
Dasclu and Martins Blooms, both of them would be the first rider from their respective nations to take a UCI World Cup win, should they be able to do it. Seeing from our screens here in the booth, it's now Andreasen at the front. It's like NASCAR, this. Every lap somebody else just rolls in front and...
Simon Avandetto, number 11 on his bike.
He's been pulling some big faces for about the last half an hour.
Yeah, earning some carbohydrates this evening by the look of it. There is Andreasen at the front now. What can Simon Andreasen do at the front of this race in Araxá, the 246th cross-country UCI World Cup race?
Yeah, and Andreasen as well, he was just a little bit off the pace in the first couple of laps, which may be helpful. You know, he didn't have to go with that kind of the Dure first lap and try and keep up. He's just done his own thing.
Yeah, this group still close together.
Vidaure still in 7th. Boissy just getting held up by the rider in front, holds up Colombo as well.
Yeah, Sarou, he was in front of him.
Yeah, Sarou's been struggling with that section every lap, just bumbling his way through.
You see if there are too many riders in front of you, it's a hard section to manage it.
You see a few of these riders have binned off the riding glass as well, just getting coated in a thick film of dust, such as the proximity of each other, riding that cloud the whole time.
A mixture of sweat and dust doesn't give clear vision.
No, not ideal.
And also I think the low sunlight with the shadow, the dark forest.
That outside line just looks to be so much better in the traffic than the more direct left-hand one.
Definitely in the traffic. It's even not that steep, but it's so much shorter, that steep inside line. What Tito Acaro is doing, Vlad Dasclu as well. And here Martin Vidaure with the number 5, the yellow back number on his bike, on his back. The leading team in the World Cup. Different line for Vidaure, completely on the left side.
See how he is getting a move on. Vidaure.
Nino, is he struggling with the pace? Looks like that a little bit.
It's not often you get to use that sentence.
There's Andreasen, the pressure he's applying on the front, just starting to cause some splits in the bunch.
Yeah, a little bit of a gap in between, in front of Nino.
So Carlson, on course, he's been back on, just saying that the jump line, the actual faces of the jumps are now fully in the shade in the afternoon sun, which means that they're extremely difficult to read the takeoffs.
Really?
Making it harder, of course, to judge the landing. So he's probably out there on his bike, just making sure everything's all right. That's it.
That's the jumps.
Don't put it past him. See, the front group all using that line to the riders left. There's Koretsky now.
Yeah, Koretsky always there, 2nd or 3rd place constantly.
Andreasen putting the hurt on Koretsky.
Nice. Jordan Sarou, Filippo Colombo, Adrian Brachy, and Tito Acaro. A lot of French riders in that group.
Yeah, we talked before the race of which team was going to take it to Specialized today. And we said Cannondale, good chance, you know. 3 riders in the front group.
Yeah. where Specialized has only 2. But also Scott Tram also 2 riders.
And a Blevins update. He's on the move. Back to 38th now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Ollie manning the Blevins desk. Christopher Blevins punted off the course in that during that start loop, really, and bars round the wrong way. Last rider on track at one stage is battling his way through. We haven't seen him on screen for some time, but he is still just trying to get his way back towards the front, but easier said than done when the pace is this high. Simon Andreasen looking peerless out there at the minute. Koretsky's in close contention though.
Everything's still in control for Victor Koretsky, who is in 2nd place. He won the short track yesterday.
Gaze in 3rd.
He's looking strong too, Sam Gaze.
They're nearing the 2/3 point now. Here's how they stand. Andreasen, Koretsky, Gaze, Haverleen, Schurter, Vidari, Aldridge, Saru, Colombo, Boissy inside the top 10 as well. Great ride from Adrien Boissy, the first-year elite.
The 3rd French rider in this race.
There's Christopher Blevins.
There is Blevins.
Last lap, he banged out a 9-minute lap, similar to the front guys. So.
Here is the crash in the first lap then. Oh, a sore-looking one. Hit his bars on the way down, and that's what knocked them the wrong way. So, quick to rejoin, almost too quick. Dead last.
He left, yeah, dead last.
He was dead last to 37th now, so if anyone, not that anyone was questioning how much Christopher Blevins wants it, but putting on a serious effort as Andreasen doesn't do the river gap.
Yeah, different lines. Maybe he doesn't like to do the work here at the bottom. So changing positions.
It's kind of like a motorway slip road, isn't it? You just merge back on, and you might have lost a few spots, but
it was a smart move. By taking that B line, he's forced Koretsky for the front.
That's got Ollie Beckinsale nodding in the booth. He liked that one.
I like that one. That was a smart move. To be doing that one.
Yeah, thinking on your wheels.
6 to pull that move.
So they're slowing down again a little bit. Here around the lake, just before the finish line.
And now, it's another Cannondale rider takes it up at the front. Alan Hafferley, former short track overall title holder. Let's have another look at that move then. You see Andreasen pulls hard left. He loses a little bit of speed in that left-hander, but just merges you back over the bridge, provided you don't go in the drink. Good work. And into the tech feed zone they all come. Pretty much absolutely everybody availing themselves of a bottle.
Yeah, now 3 Cannondale riders in the top 4. Only Victor Koretsky, he's in between
Look
them.
at Schurter. Nino Schurter looking like he's moving up now.
3 more laps.
Vlad Daskalu's not out of this yet. The Trek rider always finishes strong. You know, he always does a good last lap. He's only 30 seconds down now. European champion on track.
Turned up at my hotel room the other day. Opened the front door, there he was. You got the wrong room. Andreasen whipping through the jumps. Look at the concentration. Such a stylish rider. Cannondale Factory Racing up there really with the most technically skilled off the teams.
Titouan Carot, the French rider.
Best ride we've seen from Titouan Carot for a while.
Yeah, very skilled. You could see him in practice during the week. He was almost a BMC skills coach. He was taking lead of the train every lap and helping Suru pick out the lines.
He didn't have his best season last year. And also this year. Now he's first in the leading group for the first time. It's good to see him back.
Koretsky round the outside. This is the bottom of the climb where things get nibbly. And you can see it's basically just powder. The dirt there, baked by the sun.
Yeah, it's becoming very loose.
Josh just saying that the sun dipping slightly, it's kind of right in the riders' faces for the second half of the lap. So those who binned off the eyewear maybe regret it slightly. Just those.
It's now Jordan Swu who's coming to the front, 2nd place behind Simon Andreasen.
Andreasen looking, combination of 2 things. He's looking really strong, but smooth. You know, he's looking really good at the front of this group.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work now. I would say not the fastest lap time it was. Around 9 minutes. They can go a bit faster.
Oh, Aldridge
Shown that before.
off behind Boishy, and that allows Tito and Caro back up in amongst it. The top 10 then, after 7 out of 9 laps, covered by just 10 seconds.
And this is where we see this split. It's only over that steep climb, the false flat after it. That's where the races seem to be splitting.
But we're seeing a split here. The front 4. Andreasen, Saru, Haverly, Koretsky, Schurter and Colombo, the Scott SRAM riders battling their way back on. Then it's Vidare, who's still in amongst it, you know, Martin Vidare.
Yeah. But there's a proper gap appeared now after the mistake on that climb.
Sam Gay is feeling the pace slightly. There's Descalu. Now Koretsky goes around Andreasen, looks over, lets him by. This is the first we've really seen. 178 beats per minute for Simon Andreasen up that climb, and I just wonder if Koretsky is going to try and build a wee move here.
It looks like that. Over these big roots.
Good through those roots from the first 2.
Oh, Nino fast.
Oh, just having to hop the back end through for Colombo. Vidare.
Yeah. Vidare is hanging on in this group, but now Victor Koretsky's pushing the hammer down. Wow, look back over his shoulder for Nino. Filippo Colombo is overtaking him.
Just wonder if Schurter was looking for a bit of help there. Vidare sitting down slightly. His teammate bossing it at the front at the minute. Is Vidare's work done here today?
Where was Sam Gase?
This is a real move from Koretsky now. He's looking at the front.
You don't think
hard?
You don't think Specialized Factory Racing have gone for the old 1-2, have they? Vidare out front fast early on. Koretsky second half of the race. Bart Brengens nods his head in appreciation.
My pick of the day is Victor Koretsky.
Yeah, he's happy with that one.
He won the race yesterday. And it looks like now he's opening the gaps in between the riders. Sam Gase, 16 seconds.
I just thought as you saw Vidare sit down, drop the saddle down there, I wonder if that was maybe over to you, Victor.
But you see now Gaze, 15 seconds, and that was just at the top of that steep climb. We just saw the split, and then over the top of that, Koretsky just put the hammer down, and that gap just growing.
But here, Jordan Saru, he's able to follow him.
So it has,
Victor Koretsky
has split the pack. Sam Gay is now in 8th place, is 15 seconds back. So given that the top 10 were covered by 10 seconds not that long ago, I mean, it's small beer really. He hasn't got rid of many of them, but there's Schurter battling with Vidare to stay on the back.
Yeah, the numbers 5 and 6.
And we saw on that climb, just as Koretsky was applying the pressure, Nino just visibly cracking, looking behind him, and then Colombo, his teammate, just getting on the luck. He got the last ticket on this front group.
5 seconds covering the top 5. Koretsky attacks on the climb. Victor Koretsky up this punch. Simon Andreasen digs deep to go with him, as does Jordan Saru, as does Alan Haverly. And there is Colombo going with them as well. Schurter got the message late, but he's got Vidare in close contention.
It's a tough climb, that one. You come down that enduro-style blown-out descent into the big berm, and then you carry the speed up the climb. But if you've got the legs, you can keep the momentum going.
Taking his gel.
Koretsky takes the gel. There's Kent Gallagher watching on, the Cannondale Factory Racing technical coach.
Nino, it's Vidare.
Nino Schurter in trouble here.
Small gap now.
And look at the gap from Koretsky back to Simon Andreasen.
Saru is there. Ellen Hetterly, Filippo Colombo.
Victor Koretsky.
That's the top 5.
Making a play to be the 3rd rider here in Araxá to do the double. And take a short track win and then take a cross-country Olympic alongside it. 7 out of 9. You get the feeling just from how long the elite women's race stayed together that it's not all over yet.
Wouldn't it be too early what he's doing now, Victor Koretsky? But maybe he feels exactly that it's time for that. He's feeling strong. He showed that yesterday. And today again.
Koretsky.
Yeah, he's not holding back, but he's going to have to take this effort. He's going to have a small gap. Once we hit the flat, he's going to have to keep the power.
And look at this power on that climb. Out of the saddle, from the bottom to the top.
As you can see from your screen then, Schurter and Vidari have shipped 16 seconds to the leader of the race. Who is the man on your screen now? Victor Koretsky. Look at him through this jump line, tucking, gaps the whole bridge.
Incredible. Oh. Making himself small, aerodynamic.
This is a proper attack from Victor Koretsky. He's going for the long game. And look at that big empty shot behind him. So Andreasen, 8 seconds. We are waiting for an update on that split, but it would look to be slightly more to me.
But so comfortable here on these jumps. The river gap, the berms. And battling fast here on the flat.
And one of the quietest spots on the course. And T1 Karo is in. Something has gone wrong, and that looks...
A rear wheel?
Rear wheel.
Rear wheel, yeah.
That's a shame. He was having a good race today as well.
One
just
of
on
the
back
best
of
in
that
a long
group.
time for T1 Karo. 22nd place now for the French national champion. Bitter disappointment. Koretsky, big long look over the shoulder.
He's not hanging around, he's pushing on.
Not taking any drinks now. He took his gel in the previous feed zone.
I'm seeing 10 seconds back to Jordan Sarrou in second place. Koretsky, can he do what he did in Ligier last year? Win both races?
Two more laps. Jordan Sarrou, Simon Andreasen. And then we have Alan Hatterley with Nina Schurter.
Vidari, 6th place, 22 seconds back off the lead, but looks like he has closed some distance between the chase group and himself.
With an early attack of Victor Koretsky.
What do you make of this, Ollie? Is it doable from here for Koretsky?
It's such a short lap, and it's once you get past this section, it doesn't make too much difference whether you're on your own or not.
Look at his lap time, 8:32.
Whoa.
8:32.
We saw 8:37 of Vidaure earlier in the race, but 8:32. That's the fastest lap time so far.
I think
Gap is there.
Massive crash apparently for Charlie Aldridge, fully covered in dirt according to Carlson. So that happening off camera. We'll bring it to you if you've got it. Andreasen leads this group 14 seconds now.
Which place Charlie Aldridge now on 12th. Yeah, he lost a lot of time actually.
But I think we're looking, 16 minutes on his own, hitting the front, 17 minutes. It's Andreasen who's going to lead the chase, and I think it's up to the Cannondale riders to take control.
Just an update on that battle for the remaining Swiss Olympic place, or one of the Swiss Olympic places. Mateusz Flukiger's currently in 5th, Nino Schurter in 7th, Filippo Colombo in 5th, so the Swiss battle continues. 25 seconds now back to Vidari.
13 to that chasing group.
Victor Koretsky has blown the pack apart here in Araxá. He's clearly been watching his classics. This is Van der Poel-esque. He's just kept going at the front of it.
Well, you can open the gap and keep it like that. There is Sam Gaze with the number 3 on his back. 8 at the moment.
Yeah, when you look at the lap times, it wasn't that someone like Sam Gaze or Nino had a bad lap. They had a good lap. They were just under 9 minutes. It was just Koretsky.
Very constantly lap times.
Yeah, so they were all still good. It was just Koretsky was amazingly fast that lap.
Colombo, you know as well, coming good here in the final stages of this one. 3rd last time out. Maripora says that elbow's still not 100%, so there's more speed from the Swiss rider in 5th spot at the minute, but he's 12 seconds back.
But look at the speed of Victor Koretsky here on this climb.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's not going to polish out.
But I still got a feeling that...
Yeah, Knut Røme from Norway.
Andreasen's not done yet. I think he still looks good.
He still looks good, that's for sure.
He's brought a second back, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, from the smallest of, what was it? Oak trees and all that.
Very consistent lap times of Simon Andreasen. He put a lot of effort into the race, now chasing hard.
So, signs of recovery from Simon Andreasen. He's found a second. Oh, Haverly having a nightmare through those routes.
Filippo Colombo is overtaking him.
I'll tell you what,
kicking in there.
Koretsky though, mouth closed, looking like he's taking over.
The beeline.
He's not taking the jumps. Oh, the second one.
Takes
He's
that
taking
gap,
the jump.
yeah.
11 seconds.
21.
There's nothing wrong with this bike.
21 seconds back to Gaze though. Nino Schurter is now with Gaze and Vidare.
What does Sam Gaze has left? You're wondering why Victor Koretsky didn't take that first drop.
Yeah, maybe just trying to give his legs just a bit of extra recovery. It's quite a big, it's not a difficult jump, but it's quite a big landing. You have to use the quads to absorb the bike.
Look, Bart, we know you'd jump everything if you could, but if it was your decision, you'd be out there maximum airtime. But sometimes you just have to take a bit of pressure off the legs.
You have to take the fastest line. It doesn't matter what you do.
There is Alan Haverly then in fifth. Andreasen's in second. Saru's in third. Colombo's in fourth. So Andreasen is 11 seconds now behind Koretsky according to the latest split times.
It's been a long time ago that Simon Andreas is so strong.
Yeah, it's great to see him back at the front. The previous junior world champion, but it's taken him a while. He was good, and then he's just the last couple of seasons. We saw the end last year at Mont-Saint-Anne. That was the first time he broke into the top 10 in a long time. So he finished last season strong and started off strong again this year.
Yeah, sixth Mont-Saint-Anne on a very different day, on a very different racetrack.
But you need the skills. If you ride round Mont-Saint-Anne in the front 10.
Cannondale Factory
Simon
Racing.
Andreas definitely has the skills. 11 seconds for him.
Cannondale Factory Racing, certainly skills in abundance up and down that squad.
He's still got some strength.
He's still driving it up here, you know.
Jordan Sru behind him, Filippo Colombo.
So there's that gap then. Gaze 25 seconds back. Koretsky.
That gap's not going out, it's stabilising.
Yeah, 8:32, still the fastest lap from that man on your screen now with the yellow plate of the leading team, Specialized Factory Racing's Victor Koretsky. And we talked about Jenny Risfids and Pauline Ferrand-Prévost's poker face. Simon Andreasen, dogged determination all over the face of the Danish rider. Here's Koretsky though. Wow, that is so difficult to do. That shot doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, those big log sections.
The
A-line is really
He's not
hard.
touching anything.
You have to commit to a log pointed at a mad angle and then just pull up halfway along it and crest the whole thing.
Perfect timing of Victor Koretsky.
But this is definitely one of these sections and one of the courses. The faster you ride, the smoother it gets, the easier it gets.
Just pulled over to the middle line there at the last minute. Bike stuck. It worked over the gap now. And now onto this climb in front of the crowd for the penultimate time. A lot of that crowd have moved towards the finish arena now as this race heads towards its end. There's the chasing pack in the same shot. Oh, but Koretsky stalls up that climb.
He lost a few seconds over there.
And more importantly, that may have just knocked his rhythm at the start of this long descent where you need every ounce of speed. Let's watch that again.
Yeah, just his rear wheels
just too aggressive. Got a little bit greedy there on the
too much
exit.
weight on his front wheel and no traction on his rear wheel.
Well, the split was saying 15 seconds, so let's see what it says now. Crouches behind the bars, takes the whole bridge on.
But I think it just shows when you're making this big effort at the back end of the race how easy it is
you
to
are
make
so
a mistake.
exhausted.
Yeah.
How difficult is it though to not let that upset your rhythm?
He could find his rhythm back very quickly. I mean, there's a long descent following, so...
Meanwhile, back over to Leblevin's desk. 24 volley.
I was predicting top 20 at the end.
So, given that there are 98 riders still circulating, and that man was at the very back of them on the first lap, what a ride from Chris Blevins.
Yeah, despite the traffic, an 8:49 last lap. And then you think that Koretsky 8:30 with clear traffic. So Blevins is poor.
Yeah. But he showed his strength in the last week. And
his strength is not in doubt.
No, not at all.
His ability to ride up curbs.
Yeah.
Slightly.
But
it shows a lot to the team, that, doesn't it? It shows that that's what a team wants to see. They want to see a rider that'll fight.
And his mentality too, he kept on fighting.
Round the lake then for his teammate Koretsky.
12 seconds. He lost a few.
He lost 3 of them, yep. But whenever you've got a big lead, that's the benefit of it.
One more lap if you're crossing the line. Sam Gaze, 6th place. Nino Schurter, he's with him.
So I think it's this point now, Koretsky, it's almost in your mind. You'd be counting down how many efforts you've got left.
Final
1, 2,
lap.
5, 6 efforts left before you win.
Final lap for Victor Koretsky. Specialized Factory Racing heading for the double. But it is an all-action lap here in Araxá, and anything can happen, as we saw at the top of that last climb.
Yeah, he placed that attack quite early in the race.
Just looking out the window of our commentary booth, a sea of people out there waiting for the culmination of this one.
Yeah, Koretsky looking full of fight, big power.
16 seconds back to Jordan Sarrou now, so...
Yeah, similar lap times, Victor Koretsky, Jordan Sarrou, only 2 seconds in between these two. Filippo Colombo, same lap time.
So Josh beaming in from on-course saying the landing on that first drop that we wondered why he was going round it is actually really flat. There's no downside to it, so it's a big impact through the body. So maybe the B-line just makes more sense.
Yeah, for that second group, they're leaving it to Jordan Sarrou, 16 seconds now.
Say that's from Josh, who hasn't touched the B-line all week. Koretsky, Sarrou, Andreas and Colombo Haverly getting a wriggle on now. 16 seconds the gap to this man, Victor Koretsky.
But just as we went off that picture, then you saw Colombo attacking from the front.
Wow, Filippo Colombo now leading here this chasing group.
Looking to go one better than he did last weekend.
Goes around. They can see each other for a long time here on this climb. Here comes Sam Gaze, that second chasing group. 6th place, 7 and 8, with Vidal on 8th place.
Oh, it's a key one. How are the legs now? Has he got the power?
Yeah, but also the riders behind him, they can see him, and it looks like it doesn't go that easy for Victor Koretsky.
They are coming up to Koretsky now.
And if they feel it, they will show it.
Jordan Sarrou.
Filippo Colombo looks strong to me now.
Yeah.
158 beats per minute up there.
In the last lap, same lap time for Filippo Colombo and Victor Koretsky. Equal in strength.
But Koretsky putting that really fast 8:30.
7 seconds. They're in the same shot. All of a sudden, they're in the same shot.
Yeah.
Filippo Colombo has found something late in the day here in Araxá, and he's bringing Simon Andreasen 6. And Alan Haverly and Jordan Sarrou with him.
And we know from Alan Haverly as well, most of the time, a very strong last lap he has.
Bart, there's a lot on this. If Victor Koretsky wins
he has to hold on and be in first position at the top of the climb, and there's still a bit to go. First he's...
something wrong with the bike. Koretsky looks down. Koretsky looks down. Drivetrain issues. The chain is off the chain ring. Filippo Colombo rides past him. Andreasen rides past him. Drama here in Araxá.
Simon Andreasen now, who is leading the race.
That all just felt too straightforward towards the end of this one.
And also the fans here at the finish line, they could see it. And we could hear it.
I was just about to tell you
what went wrong?
I was just about to tell you that if Koretsky got to the line, he'd equal your wins tally in XCO.
But it's Colombo.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Happily.
Look at him come back now, Victor Koretsky. From the depths of despair with that chain off, passes Sarrou.
That SRAM...
no B-line this time.
Chain. 661.
Koretsky rocket back towards the front of this one. Desperate to pin them back, and he has done.
He's still in touch.
Now just
it's
watch
still
here.
Not over yet. And here we see that again.
Just ships a gear, just slips the wrong side of the chain ring up towards the frame by the look of it.
He had to stop to put it back on.
Oh, and there's a little chain device in the top of the ring that will make that all the harder, but he's got it done and he's back in amongst them.
Yeah. Fourth place, but in touch with Simon Andreasen, who's leading.
He's got that Brenton's wins
record.
record.
He's leading, sorry. Simon Andreasen, he's behind him.
So we have 5 guys, the last main climb of the race. Who would have thought that?
What a weekend of racing in Araxá. Viktor Koretsky.
But Filippo Colombo, he's pushing hard. He's leading into this descent.
There was the smallest shake of the head, and now Saru goes past Koretsky. I think Koretsky's had enough here.
It looks like he lost his confidence. He's looking again
down,
to his drivetrain.
That Bluetooth shifting, maybe there's a problem. Not giving him the gear he wants. Maybe it's out of sync.
2 Cannondale riders against Scott Schramm.
Viktor Koretsky, heartbreak for him late in the day here. What performance he put on. Still has the fastest lap of the race. Will that be the case? Can make up speed on these descents using the bike to pump through the suspension. Filippo Colombo and Simon Andreasen and Alan Haverly currently looking like they're going to go toe-to-toe for the win here.
And we've got this short kick now. The pain's going to be there.
Andreasen and Filippo Colombo and Alan Haverly.
Koretsky still in the race. But look at this vibration on his chain. Constantly.
Something is not right. I just wonder if it's maybe out of sync. Maybe in the wrong place to where the rear mech thinks it is.
Filippo Colombo, a comeback after his crash last year in Paris-Roubaix, where he broke his elbow on the road. Yeah, again, a look to his drivetrain for Viktor Koretsky. He's on 4th, Jonas Hu in 5th place. But still in touch with the leaders.
And we only have that,
very close together.
We have that last climb. Still the steep
that
section.
punchy
That's
climb
the
from the
last
short
one
track.
to attack.
It may well all come down to that because there isn't a bad descender in this group.
No, it's like a short track now. Last lap of a short track race.
We have that lap of the lake to finish things off. Andreasen, definitely the aerial expert in amongst this little lot.
But Simon Andreasen is looking strong as well.
I think Colombo's in the best position. I'd want to be leading into that.
Is he overtaking? Filippo Colombo, yes he does.
Simon Andreasen, mid-air overtake at the front of the elite men's race.
Is this a decision? Still a long way around the lake.
Still a long way around, but what a move late in the day from Simon Andreasen. Could that be decisive?
Koretsky on 3rd now again.
Koretsky's
still in the race.
He's
still in the race.
He may have just got that bike to sit in the right gear, and he's just going to have to turn it. Koretsky still on the box here in 3rd at the minute. Alan Haverly's with him. Let's see what that's...
But look at Andreasen here.
Andreasen superb up that climb. Heads into that man-made rock section. 174 beats per minute. Colombo's just dropped a few bike lengths as they head into the jumps now.
Andreasen has always been so fast on this section. Can he get a gap before the flat?
All those years, all that promise. Is Simon Andreasen about to deliver here in Araxá, Brazil for Cannondale Factory Racing? It's not going to be all specialised factory racing by the look of it.
Filippo Colombo 2nd, Koretsky 3rd. Alan Haverly now in 4th.
The top, well...
But the pace is high. Really
Andreasen,
high.
Colombo, Haverly, all going for their maiden elite level UCI World Cup victories in cross-country Olympic.
It looks like Filippo Colombo's coming back to Simon Andreasen. And also Koretsky, he's still in touch.
Stands on the pedals. Koretsky stands on the pedals and goes now. He's going to have to chase down Colombo, who's going to have to chase down Andreasen as they head back towards the Grand Hotel in Araxá. It's anyone's bike race with only 100 metres to go. Viktor Koretsky kicks and digs deep for specialised factory racing. He's now wheeled away with Simon Andreasen. Thinks better off it. Checks
it's a short
back.
sprint.
It's a short sprint. Crucially, on asphalt. Koretsky goes round the outside of Andreasen. Viktor Koretsky, but Simon Andreasen won't be beaten in the final stanzas of this one.
A winding sprint it is.
Here we go. Andreasen leads them on the tarmac. Who's got the sprint to finish off 2 back-to-back incredible weekends in Brazil? Simon Andreasen digs deep. Is this going to be his debut elite level cross-country Olympic victory? The Danish rider takes it. What a final to this incredible weekend of racing in Araxá. His debut elite cross-country Olympic win. Simon Andreasen becomes Cannondale Factory Racing's latest cross-country winner. Nino Schurter beats Vidari home in a sprint. Only 2 other Danish riders have won a cross-country Olympic Elite World Cup. Simon Andreasen getting it done. What a finish. Can you remember a better one than that, boys?
Oh, man. 5 guys hit the climb, the last lap, racing the descent.
Technical trouble for Victor Koretsky in that last climb. He came back with Simon Andreasen.
But the downhill overtake. The downhill overtake.
You need to have the skills these days to win a race.
Oh.
More than that.
It wasn't where the race was done, but Simon Andreasen took the lead on a descent mid-air. And if that doesn't tell you everything that you need to know about cross-country racing in 2024, I don't know what does. Victor Koretsky shakes his head. You have to feel for that man. The drivetrain issues on one of the last climbs of the race, separating him from what would have been a win. Slings the gloves into the crowd. The Frenchman raced with all his heart out there, as he always does. Charlie Aldridge crosses the line. Andreasen's teammate in 13th. Look at the effort it's taken out of Koretsky. The fish was in the boat until that chain slipped on one of those final climbs. Blevins crosses the line. 23rd. Oh, shakes the head. You could race a whole season of cross-country World Cups and not overtake that many people. One race, Christopher Blevins. Christopher Blevins looks on, but watch this. This is how you do it. Koretsky just couldn't get past Andreasen. Andreasen, what a victory in Araxá.
That was a spectacular way to wrap up the Araxá weekend. Simon Andreasen, a race win that you will remember for a lifetime. Tell us about that final lap.
That was nice to win a World Cup again. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't thought too much about it yet. It's been a few years since I won a World Cup, and yeah, I'll take a moment to soak it in.
That was exceptional, that entire last lap, the battles, the drama to that final corner. Did you see Victor have that issue? Did you think that was your moment to attack?
At that moment, I was just trying to stay calm. I'm getting a bit confused that I can hear my own voice. But yeah, I don't know.
Just a breathtaking moment. Congratulations on this victory. This is an insane moment for all your entire team. Number one in Araxá. Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, my apologies in the confusion for that one. Aronli called that his debut win, of course, won in 2020, Novo Mesto Namarave, but it's been slim pickings since then. But Simon Andreasen back on the top spot for Cannondale. Factory racing, what a result. Look at what it means to him. Alan Murchison there. Let's hear from Viktor Koretsky.
Victor, obvious drama. Tell us what happened. Tell us about that last lap.
No, so I had a really good legs today. I tried to go 3 laps to go, and I did the gap straight, and then I was just on my pace. I was good on the last lap, but unfortunately I had a mechanical. I dropped the chain almost on the top before the roots section, and then I put the chain on, and I think I was 5th or 6th, I don't know, and I managed to do my best to catch the first. And then I overtake Alan first, then Filippo, then I don't know who, and then I was on the wheel of Simon on the last straight, but he was the strongest, and I did a huge effort to close the gap, and I was completely empty. So yeah, I'm sad, but in the same time I'm good on my shape. So yeah, congrats to Simon. He was strong. He did a huge sprint. It was amazing to be on his wheel on the last straight line. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think I'm good now on the overall. So yeah, I'm looking for the next part of the season. But for sure, I'm in a good shape. And yeah, I'm pretty happy. And even if I had a mechanical, I'm still here. So yeah. Congrats and obrigado, Brazil.
Amazing, mate. Congratulations. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Here we see it again then, the minute the race turned on its head. Viktor Koretsky's chain dropping. And later forced off the bike. Look how hard he fought to get back on the back. Colombo, pain all over his face. That's a great sight. Loan Lecomte seems happy. Here's Alan Haverly.
Alan Hatherley, second podium. It's great to see you back up here. What a race today. Tell us about your point of view.
Yeah, it was a really insane race. Super fast, just like last weekend. It stayed together a lot more than I actually expected, to be honest. It was kind of only really the last 2 laps where the race started to unfold. I mean, obviously, Victor put a big move in and put us all under pressure to try chase him down. Unfortunately, he had a bit of troubles in the last lap, and then we caught him, and then kind of our group switched on because we realized like now we're racing for the win, not for second anymore. Yeah, and it was just kind of all out to the finish. Really, really tricky to navigate and stay safe. Koretsky did a few moves to move up. It was a bit of a squeeze. Yeah, and I saw Simon was in a brilliant position to win, and I just kind of defended the back of the group just to kind of keep his sprint as simple as possible. And then, yeah, the last 50 meters, I gave it a little squeeze to take third. So, yeah, 2 thirds for the weekend. I'll take that, and what a way to finish our trip in Brazil.
An amazing effort. Congratulations. We'll see you in Europe.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
What a ride from Alan Haverly all weekend. Back to his best, at this man's best. He's a threat in both formats. Pair of third places. Testament to that this weekend in Araxá. Here's how they finish. Simon Andreasen wins his second UCI World Cup elite level cross-country Olympic ahead of Koretsky, Haverly, Colombo, Sarouge, Schurter, Vidare, Gaze, Descalou, Avendetto. Zanotti, Feudal, Aldridge. Big crash somewhere right there for Charlie. Schwarzbauer, Titouan Carew, we saw him. Mechanical Maladies, 25th. Lars Forster down in 31st. Here is how it happened. And here's how things shook out at the second round of the Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series in Araxá Cross Country Olympic Elite Men's Race. pace was searingly high from the start. And when you say that, you really mean that Schwarzbauer and Gaze are out front. But this man, the series overall points leader, Christopher Blevins, bumped off and won the first turns. Jordan Sarou left the trials his way up the climb. And chaos reigned behind them. Matthäus Flukiger missed the short track yesterday, set a blistering early pace. As the battle for Swiss Olympic selection continues. And it was the usual suspects out front, but Martin Vidari went very, very early, the Chilean national champion. The pack led by Sam Gaze took a lap or so to bring him back in. Gaze, Schurter, Koretsky, all in attendance at the front, as were the two Cannondale factory racing riders, Simon Andreasen and Alan Haverly. Koretsky went to the front. And started to build. Really read from the Mathieu van der Poel Classics book of how to win a bike race. Built a lead, took off. But then this moment, drama on the last lap. The SRAM chain came off that bike. Koretsky left to fix his machine whilst his rivals rolled past on what was beginning to look a straightforward run to the line. Filippo Colombo cracked on, but watch this from Koretsky, the determination to get back on and charge his way back to the front. Sarou got past him though. And it was at that point that you started to think that Victor Koretsky's goose may have been cooked, but this move from Simon Andreasen, mid-air on Filippo Colombo. Once they came off that descent, there was a full tap sprint around the lake. Simon Andreasen hadn't won since 2020. Did so in Araxá. What a result from the Danish rider. Only the third Danish male to win a UCI cross-country World Cup. Here's what it meant to him. Koretsky pipped at the post in second. Road was so much hard all day long. Here are the results then. The fastest laps. 8:29. Simon Andreasen on that final lap. Koretsky's big injection of pace came on lap 7. 8:32, his fastest effort. Interestingly, Alan Haverly matched it. Fastest lap that is, as did Filippo Colombo. The top four, Haverly, back-to-back third places in short track and cross-country Olympic. Well, the Grand Hotel in Araxá has seen some sights over the years, none more so than this afternoon. Victor Koretsky then leads the cross-country Olympic standings by 136 points now from Simon Andreasen. His teammate Blevins drops back to third, then it's Colombo, Sarou, Gaze, Haverly, Vidari, Schwarzbauer, Avendetto. 275 points separate the top 10. Pascalu, Schurter, Grillo, Zanotti, Feudal, Shermans, Woods, De Fouamont, Kalel Estap. And then Martins Bloom's the last rider inside that top 20. Lars Forster and Matthäus Flukiger, two Swiss riders currently outside the top 20. Joshua Debow out with that elbow injury, suffered in the short track in Araxá. We await an update from him. We get ready for the podiums here in Araxá. Absolutely breathless elite men's race on a track that may just have rewritten how you go about building the cross-country Olympic circuit. Brilliantly showcasing these riders' unbelievable skill sets. Speed, aggression, stamina. Jordan Sarou then, another week, another podium. slings the beat on. 5th place for Saru today. When he got past Koretsky at the top of that climb, you just wondered. Koretsky refused to be beaten by his old sparring partner and quite possibly French Olympic teammate. Selectors here this weekend. Plenty to mull over dinner this evening. Filippo Colombo, though, led so deep on the last lap, only to be overtaken mid-air by Simon Andreasen. You saw the expression on his face at the line. He knew how close he had come. Filippo Colombo, a few floral issues, he won't mind that. Alan Haverly. 2 days, 2 third places. One of the best all-rounders in the world. Great last lap from Haverly. Matched the fastest time in the race. That big smile will accompany him into the European block of racing, which is just around the corner. Victor Koretsky, big reception from the Brazilian fans. Won the short track yesterday. They appreciate a rider who leaves it all on the course. Victor Koretsky definitely did that. If it wasn't for that mechanical gremlin late in the day, he could be one step higher, and he'll have to work hard to put that out of his mind, but great recovery ride, so much heart from Koretsky. Simon Andreasen is once again a UCI cross-country Olympic World Cup winner. You've got to go back to 2020 for his last one. You have to admit, he looks shell-shocked up there. Big changes in the off-season, coaching staff, team, everything. The behind-the-scenes team that helped the man. Cannondale Factory Racing, one of their own. They've kept the faith of Andreasen for some time now. Duly rewarded here in Araxá. Andreasen, Koretsky, Haverly, Colombo and Saru, your top 5. After an unreal day here in Araxá. The biggest party in Araxá, which is quite some measurement, is likely to take place near the Cannondale Factory Racing squad this evening. Hope Manny Fumic has a company card. Here are the men's team standings then. Specialized Factory Racing have the lead ahead of Cannondale now, 104 points. Team BMC third, then Scott Schramm, then Canyon Collective. Giant in 6th, Villiers Vittoria in 7th. First, the Real Privateer efforts. KTM Factory in there, KMC Ridley in 12th. Trek Factory Racing Pirelli back in 13th. Lapierre Mavic Unity in 14th. Cube Factory Racing won their first UCI World Cup last week. Kira Bohm. Specialized Factory Racing lead the way. Here's a woman who has helped that big S progress their way to the front of international cross-country racing yet again. So, In the women's elite cross-country Olympic team standing, Specialized Factory Racing, Team 31, Ibis Cycles Continental, Jenny Risfed squad in second. Ghost Factory Racing, strong showing here in Araxá in third. Trek Factory Racing Pirelli much higher in fourth. Team BMC in 13th there. Prima Flor Mondraker just ahead of them. The overall points leader's jersey then going to Viktor Koretsky. This will be a big cheer. Simon Andreasen back on the top step. Second UCI World Cup cross-country Olympic win for the Dane.